First, a disclaimer. If you're expecting an elaboration on why affirmative action is wrong from a typical conservative perspective, you might be disappointed. The basic assumption of affirmative action, which is that wealth, race, and family background play an unfair role in deciding how well people do in life, and it is something that society needs to address, is very correct. However, the solution of stuffing more minorities into elite institutions, such as top universities, is misconceived and distracts us from the real fight for equality. What lurks behind affirmative action is actually a highly stratified society where there is a small group of people on top who will have access to better education, higher social status, powerful jobs, and a useful social network. They're contrasted with those stationed far below, and for this group, unless they're extremely lucky, they'll be locked into a life of unsatisfying jobs, material insecurity, and all sorts of disempowerment. Rather than trying to diversify the ruling class, the real questions we need to be asking are, why isn't affirmative action being applied to organizations? That is, why isn't superfluous wealth distributed to impoverished schools so that overall, as a society, kids anywhere of any race and of any family background will have the same access to the resources needed for self-development and a bright future? Secondly, why isn't every job endowed with dignity, status, and good compensation so that no one who's willing to do useful work will end up as a member of the underclass? Lastly, why are efforts of learning so closely tied to acquisition money status, with the result that education, which is really meant for self-actualization, finding social purpose, and strengthening democratic citizenry, is instrumentalized for perpetuating privilege and climbing up the social ladder? If you're going to spend every minute of our waking life competing for something, it should be meaningful action that makes society more equitable, just, and prosperous for everyone. Therefore, merely trying to introduce diversity at the top does not fix the problem. Instead, we should reject the current scheme which pits one group against another for exclusivity and individual success. Instead, we should work together to transform the system so that it enables everyone to excel and incites the competition for honor and service rather than money and status.